scientists and with the decision maker to be sure that the figures will be understood by everybody. And after that, we publish the data each year on the website, and we hope, and even myself as a civil servant, we hope that if the decision makers, the local or national authorities, don't push enough this question, it is also the role of the NGO say, we are the thermometers, we get this information, and you decision makers, you have to move to solve the question. So I think the observatory, at least the French one, should be independent and not be criticized on the data. It is only the decision on, or the fact that we didn't take any decision that should be critical.
Thank you. Yes, one last intervention because we are getting to the end of our workshop.
No, just to say that the reaction of Mohamed to my point is very interesting, and it also remember me to, I don't know, say, to be consistent with my approach. What I would say is that, of course, the observatory, you are right, I fully agree with you, the observatory should just provide the data. When I say my point, of course, I was inspired by the question. I was thinking on my job, because my job, I work in development project, and my task is to impact on decision. But of course, we have to find someone who has to take this data, like the thermometer, I have the fever, someone has to act and find the best way to act. And this is an institutional problem, and I don't know for what, depends on the different institutional setup, but usually that should be, let's say, the task of the Ministry of Environment, Environmental Agency, whatever is the institutional setup in the country, because they have to influence the line ministries. So they have to convince, when they go in the cabinet, the other ministries, that to, let's say, to see the environment as an opportunity and not as a limitation. So this is really the key point. And having an institutional setup and let's say the people in the different institutions with the right mind, because for example, to me, I'm not, my background is completely different. I'm an engineer, and then it's 15 years that I'm be working in conservation for many reasons. I see that in ministry, in environmental agency, you have only conservationists, only environmental people. So this creates a way of thinking that can maybe help or can be one of the many causes for which nobody, because this is a fact. Also in Italy, we have the Observatory on Biodiversity in Regione Lazio, which is run, which the Ministry of Environment has entrusted the university or environmental people. Nobody is using the data. So this, for the institution, is a problem. So just this, we have to think about this.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, it's a key limitation in our work, but it's good to put a finger on it. We have not the solution yet, but at least to be conscious that this is a strong limitation. Now we have reached the end and even go beyond the end of the schedule. I would like to thank you very much for your active participation, and before closing the session, I would like to give the floor to our three speakers for short concluding remarks, if you have key points to raise. Thomas Galewski, Hema Joub, and Mohamed Jibi, if you want, in 1 minute, 2 minutes, to make a concluding remark on what is the key points to get in mind after this workshop.
Yeah, so I think this discussion about what is the aim of the observatory, to have an impact or not on decision making, is quite interesting. No answer yet. I think we have to think about this when we'll be back into Duvala revise our objectives and to see exactly what we want to do. Perhaps that we could have more impact just by adopting other communication tools as well. Perhaps we should address our messages to medias instead of reports, and these reports we send them to the representative of the Ministry of Environment, and perhaps we should diverse our targets. So I don't know, but there are many objectives we should, short-term objectives we should consider very soon. So yeah, thank you for your inputs. I think they are very interesting.
I have to.
Well, I think that the discussion was very interesting also. I have some points as a conclusion. I think the issue also of impact on decision makers is very important. I think we have to reach decision makers. We know that the development projects are agreed by the decision makers, and we have to find suitable ways and efficient tools to convince them once there is an impact or damage that should be avoided. And in my sense, we can reach this point by improving and enhancing the quality of data that we are generating. The observatory can do this, but if there is no help and assistance at national level from government to provide the right data and maybe to facilitate the access from the experts, from the observatory or the experts of wetlands in general, I think we cannot reach this. So science-based information could help very much decision makers to take the right decision. Second point, that as far as I'm concerned, by North Africa sub-region, we have to adapt our proposition and our strategy to the real context of the countries in North Africa. We don't have to propose projects that are of years 2050. We have to know the context. We have to know how things are going, what is the legal framework in place, how issues are run there, what is the philosophy, how people are facing and considering the value of wetlands. This is very important, so we can propose concrete and real projects that could be appropriate by local community and local population. So we have to know very much the national context. And regarding the convention of Ramsar, I think that, as the colleague from Tunisia said, we have to look how we can strengthen the provision of this convention. It's not enough that we, national governments, declare every year 40 or 60 wetlands, and after 2 or 3 years, half of them are disappearing for one reason or another. There should be more follow-up, more follow-up at national level and at the level of convention to award the government if we did well, and to try to capture the attention of the government if things are not going well. So I think we have to look at this point also. So this is my points.
Thank you.
À mon tour, je voudrais remercier tous les collègues et les amis qui nous ont fait plaisir d'être avec nous, qui nous ont orientés au niveau de notre réflexion par leurs idées, par leurs réflexions. C'est très intéressant. Je vous en remercie sincèrement. Et je dirais qu'en conclusion, que les 3 points que les amis de l'Observatoire ont mis sur cette diapositive résument le tout. Et comme disait notre ami italien, we have to think about them. On doit réfléchir sur ces 3 aspects parce que c'est l'essentiel pour continuer à vivre comme observatoire et donner naissance à des observatoires nationaux. Je crois qu'on doit dès le départ penser à ces 3 questions. Comment, parce que tu as raison, Jean, si un observatoire n'arrive pas d'une façon ou d'une autre à influencer la prise de décision, on n'a pas de raison d'être. Ça devient une institution de recherche plus simple. Tu as tout à fait raison, mais on doit trouver le body qui est appelé body, le corps, le lien, moi je dis système parce que je ne sais pas qu'est-ce que c'est, donc je l'appelle système, comme disent les Américains. Donc, ce système-là, on doit le travailler, on doit le réfléchir sur la base de cette rencontre, bien sûr. Les ONG sont là-dedans, il y a nous, il y a le médecin, il y a les médicaments, il y a l'ambulance, il y a tout ce qu'il faut pour monter ce système-là pour rendre nos centres efficaces. Encore une fois, merci et à bientôt. Merci.
Thank you.